Hello, welcome back to 13.4 Inverses of Trigonometric Functions, and we are doing some inverse trig function work here. And of course, gotta make sure we include that. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna find on the unit circle what angle and we're gonna give it both in radians and degrees, but we're gonna find what angle rotation has a cosine of square root of 3 over 2. So, cosine goes with the x. Here's my first square root of 3 over 2 at 30 degrees, or pi over 6. That's negative, that's negative, that's positive. So my other angle would be at 11 pi over 6, which is also 330 degrees. But wait, as I look at my angles of rotation for cosine, I start at 0, I go up to pi, also known as 180 degrees, and then I stop. So if you're saying that is outside of my range, that you are correct. I can't use this one because as I go around, I have to stop right here. There's a brick wall right here. So again, cosine goes with the x. Here's where the x's are positive. Here's where the x's are negative. Quadrant 1, since that's positive, I'm going to have an acute angle. If it was negative, it would be an obtuse angle from 90 to 180, but nothing beyond 180 degrees. So, whoops, let me put that back. Where was I? Square root of 3 over 2, pi over 6, also known as 30 degrees. And that's my only answer. And again, that's the same thing, just written in two different forms. What about tangent? Where's tangent 1? As I mentioned previously, I'm using a unit circle where I didn't write the tangent. So this is where my y equals my x. In quadrant 1, the y equals the x because it's y divided by x, and anything divided by itself equals 1. Where y equals x is right here at pi over 4, or 45 degrees. Now, if I go around, this is a positive divided by negative. This one is a negative divided by negative, so this one would also work, except remember that we only go from 0 to 90 degrees if the input is positive. There's a brick wall right here at 90 degrees, so I can't go all the way around here. If that was a negative number inside, I would go this way in the negative direction, but it's positive, so it's not. So the only thing that's going to work, the only angle that gives me a tangent of that angle is 1, is 45 degrees, also known as pi over 4. All right, what about cosine inverse of 2? Cosine goes with the x value. My x value is 1. As I go this way, it goes from 1 to 0 to negative. So the x's are going smaller as I go to the left. X equals 1 is over here someplace. So guess what? That is outside of my domain, so I say undefined. And actually, this would be a great time for me to do this. What if I did inverse cosine and put a 2 in there? Let's see what the calculator does. Calculator says error, your domain is wrong, which is what I just said. So it gives me the option I can either quit, no, that's not what I wanted, or I can go to it and it says you can't use a 2 right here. So again, that is undefined. Keeping my paper shuffling here. All right, now tangent inverse of negative square root of 3. Okay, so this is going to be tangent is y over x, so I'm probably going to have negative square root of 3 over 1. And remember, this is what my y comes from, this is where my x comes from. And probably, if I didn't write my tangents, probably need to figure out I got negative square root of 3 over 2 over positive 1/2. So where is my my y, negative square root of 3 over 2, and my y is 1/2? That is right here. So, and I know that I only want 1, so I'm going to write 5 pi over 3, which is also known as 300 degrees. And when I get that back on my test, it's going to be marked wrong. And before I get upset, I have to remember that that's not how it works in quadrant 4. Yes, I want to go where 5 pi over 3 is, but I need to go in the negative angle of rotation direction. So with a negative angle, this is negative 1 pi over 3, negative 2 pi over 3, or sorry, this is negative 1 pi over 6, this is negative 2 pi over 6, which becomes negative 1 pi over 3. It's actually negative pi over 3, which is negative 60 degrees. I don't know why they put parentheses sometimes, but they don't all the time. All right, sine inverse, I have a positive angle, excuse me, a positive ratio. So that tells me I'm going to have a positive angle. The y coordinate is square root of 2 over 2, which is right here. That tells me it's pi over 4, also known as 45 degrees. And finally, the last one, where is the y value 0? The y value 0 is right here. It's also over here. But remember, sine, for if it's the ratio is positive, is only in quadrant 1. And if it's negative, it goes to quadrant 4 in the negative angle of rotation. It doesn't get over here. So this is just 0, which you can say, you can think 0 pi, but 0 times pi is just 0. Or you can just say 0 degrees. All right, we'll see you in the next video.